everyone. Well, you know what? I normally do this on Sunday night, and it's not Sunday night, it's Monday night. That's because I was out of town this weekend and I was not in a place that had great Wi Fi. So I couldn't do it last night. And so I'm doing it Monday night because I don't want to break the chain of having these weekly conversations. And, what I wanted to talk about tonight, well, first of all, things that happened over the weekend, just a great drive. I had not been to this area of California before. I went to Idlewild, and it was such a beautiful drive up and such a perfect weekend. What beautiful weather. And had a great went up with a friend of mine, Linda, who she and I have been friends now for over 40 years. That's so crazy. Makes me think that we've been friends while we were still in utero, but, no, that's not true. And it's just fun to be with someone that you've known for so long in your life. And while we've both grown and grown in different directions, and she's got a beautiful family and kids that are grown, and, now she's entering a stage of her life where, you know, she's thinking, "What's my next chapter? What is it that I wanna create next?" And, so it was just wonderful to be with her. Went on a great hike, had some amazing food. Oh my gosh, we ate such great food. And then, we came home this morning. After a quick breakfast, I drove back this morning and had a phone call that I needed to meet at. So it was just a lovely quick getaway in a perfect mountain town, and, the weather was great, and I think they were gonna get it looked like they were gonna see a little bit of snow this morning as we were leaving. It looked like the skies were getting darker, so we could not have asked for a better weekend up there. And, so good hikes, good weather, great food, and just a ton of laughs. And, as I was up there thinking about it, I got thinking about 2 things, and how easy it is to kinda get trapped in our thoughts and trapped into thinking about, a lot of negative stuff, or telling our bunch of negative stories about who we think we are or what we think is possible for ourselves. And, the first thing that I hi, Tom, it's nice to see you too, friend. Yeah, I know I was supposed to be here yesterday, but I was, not in a place that I had great network, so I'm doing it Monday night. The idea of how do we do a reset, a mindset reset? Because I know it's really easy to start ruminating. We can get into a negative spiral and it's hard to get out of. And so I want to give you just a couple of tips, things that I do to help me get out of it. It may or may not help you. I think it's really important for everyone who is interested in kind of personal development or personal growth to know that, no need to worry, Tom, to know that what the advice that people give is not a universal advice. And I think if someone tells you that it is, that you should consider maybe closing the book. 'Cause I think everyone really is different, and you need to find what works for you, and I think it's important to experiment to see what does work for you. So I wanted to share a few things that I do, see if you wanna try them on, see, how they might help you, and the first one is to get out of your head, you gotta get out of your house. Thanks, Rick. Yes, yes, yeah. Rick Salzar, you're thinking it's good to hear yourself out loud. Yeah. I like to, when I think about that, it's like the idea of putting it on the page allows me to really not only hear it, but allows me to see it. So well, now I wanted to touch on that. That was the second one. But the first one I wanted to touch on is, for me, going up to Idlewild this weekend was really a great reset. I have a tendency to work a lot. And I don't think always need to, but I think it's a default of mine. It's a little bit of coping mechanism when the world feels out of control. I sit down and I do some more work. And because I live alone, I don't have anyone that I need to worry about. I can do that for quite a long time, but it really puts my life out of balance. And so thinking about for yourself, how do you get yourself out of your house to get out of your head, right? When we start going down a spiral, getting into nature, reconnecting with that place of who you are, and in a bigger sense of how the world is a much bigger place than what we can think that our problems, our issues are in any good moment. I might be Tom a little bit, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm a workaholic, but I do have a tendency to work quite a bit. And I can get itchy if I can feel like this weekend I felt like there's things that I wanted to do over the weekend. So maybe a tad of it that might be a coping mechanism for me. So, first one, get out of your house, get out of your head. Second one is what Rick brought in just real quickly is like to hear your thoughts out loud and not just in your head, to bring them to your consciousness. And one of the things I love to do with my clients is have them start journaling or have them start writing. There's a great exercise like a fear journal or your negative thought journal, and just do it for 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes every day, just so you can see this stuff that's in your head, the garbage that's up there, and how do we wipe that clean? Well, we wipe it clean by first start noticing what it is. And it can get trapped up here and start spiraling out and start thinking that it's bigger than it really is. And when we put those thoughts onto the page, we can actively start debating those thoughts. Well, that's not really true. I don't know if you've ever done that, but as I'm writing, I can often hear the conversation in my head go, oh, that's not really true. I can give you lots of different ways or reasons why that's not really true. So the first one, get out of your house, go connect with nature, go connect with people when you're starting to kind of go down that negative side. The second one is get it on the page. And the third one, and this is a really great disruptor, and that is if you find yourself spiraling out or ruminating and you just can't get away from this thought. And sometimes we can get into a thought cycle and we can start looking at it from all different sides, up, down, inside out, and we can't stop the cycle. Here is something to try. And I've done this several times and I was like, ooh, that really works. So if you can recognize that you're ruminating and you can feel what it's feeling like in your body, that's awesome, Rick. Uh, and that idea of how do we get these out? I'm sorry, how do we stop ourselves from ruminating? Is if you can catch yourself, I want you to disrupt it and give yourself an action to think about. Like, I want you to reflect on and see if you can recount everything that's on your shelves, or how many books can you recall that are on your bookshelves? Or I want you to recall all 50 states if possible. And what that does is it stops the rumination process, right? Because you're giving your brain an action to do. And as you start to recount, okay, there's Alaska, Arkansas, all the states, it disrupts the thought pattern. And so you're less likely to go back to the rumination. And if you do go back to the rumination, go back and say, let me think of all the Beatles songs that I can think of. Give yourself another challenge so that you can disrupt that rumination process. I love it. Try doing it alphabetically, right, Tom? Yeah. And so if you're someone who catches yourself or you're get into that deep rumination a lot, I had a situation where I was thinking about something that happened and I was like, gosh, why am I thinking of it? And I wasn't feeling great while I was thinking about this thing. And I tried this exercise of thinking about, I wanted to take an inventory of all the artwork on my walls. So I was just trying to think of all the artwork. And by the time I was done, I couldn't even go back to what I was ruminating about. It was not even available to me. So give that a try, see if that works for you. So the three things that I wanted to help you with your mindset reset, kind of just action things, is if you find yourself spiraling out, get outside. I think you hear that all the time. Go connect with nature, take some big, deep breaths. Secondly is get it on the page. Oh my gosh, it's so much easier to deal with it when it's on the page than when it's just in your head. In your head, it's a giant monster, but on the page, you can begin to debate it. And you can start seeing, wait, this doesn't really true. I don't really actually think this, or here's some other ways I can think about this. And the third one is to disrupt your thoughts. And that is, if you're ruminating, you're going down this spiral, you can't seem to stop yourself from ruminating, give your brain an active thing to do. Recount how much artwork you have on your wall, all 50 states, all the songs of the Beatles, maybe it's the Adele, whoever you're listening to. Think of all the yoga poses and just see if you can recall as much stuff that will stop that rumination process. Those are just some things to try for you today. Hey, I usually do this at Sunday night at 6 p.m. It's Monday. I was a day late, but I'm certainly not going to miss out. Also, you can join me at any time. You can go to deannamoffitt.com. You can get on my mailing list. I send out something really, I think, great, some blog posts and something really great every week on Thursday. And you'll start to hear about programs that I'm creating that are launching in January, one in particular called The Rewrite, which I'm really excited about. So come join my community over there. And thank you for showing up and listening to me here. I hope you have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye, Tom. Bye, Rick. Thanks for participating. See you later, guys.